make sure let me go ahead and get my live stream set up. Hey, Cecilia, how are you? Oh, she's still joining audio. She can get her audio to work. So where are you located, Sharon?
I'm in Maryland.
Oh, Maryland.
I'm sorry.
I said where in Maryland?
Oh, well, I'm in Waldorf,
Oh, I'm from
Charleston.
Shadyside. Yeah. I know Waldorf
Oh,
really well.
oh, wow. Okay. And where do you live now? Where are you based out of?
I live in Cleveland, Ohio.
Oh, wow. Okay. Got it.
Yeah, but I'm super familiar with Waldorf. So, small world.
Very small.
Hey, Cecilia, how are you? You're on mute. Oh, we got another person joining. Now it's a party. All right, let's get started. I'm gonna share my screen and also get the live stream started. Dr. Cecilia, you are on mute. If you wanted to unmute yourself, I'd love to say hello. Hey, Jamie, how are you? Good. Awesome. All right, let me get that live stream started. Hold on 2 seconds. Facebook's taking forever. Just make sure that people get some value out of this. We'll go live. All right, and I will share my screen. So, first off, I'm going to ask what questions do you guys have? What areas of focus do you want me to cover when it comes to the AI employee? Do you just want a basic demo? Jamie, thanks for hopping on. If you want to go ahead and just type in the Zoom box or you can unmute yourself, let me know kind of what you're looking to get out of this, and I'm happy to tailor my training to that.
Good morning. Hi, Cecilia. Well, for me, it's, I've seen it roll out and I've seen little tiny demos of how simple it is, and I've sat and tried to do it. But I think for me, using the voice AI is a little intimidating to set up like the question and answer part, like if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
So
it's more of my own intimidation of a tool that I know is extremely powerful and would be extremely beneficial, but it's just I get stuck in that training the bot. That's what I'm stuck in.
yeah, that's the hardest part. When you start talking about training an AI, a lot of people get intimidated just because the prompt has to be so detailed. One of the things that, and I'll go ahead and share my screen and we'll get started in the AI employee. So for those of you, oh, look at that party. Oh, hello, do you have a toy? Is that
Yeah,
a fish?
we're
Oh,
having
hello.
a really bad winter storm here in Northern California. We had our first ever tornado warning, and she was brave enough to go outside and go potty, so she's a little riled up right
Oh,
now.
what a good girl. Sorry,
Sorry, that's too loud.
I'm a
Me too.
huge dog person. I have a German Shepherd at home. So, all right. So let's look at the season of AI and the AI employee. So when we talk about the AI employee, we have a couple different facets. So we have voice AI, conversation AI, funnel AI, workflow AI, content AI, and reviews AI. Okay, so we have a bunch of different facets to the AI employee. One of the things that I want to focus on, which Jamie just asked about, is the voice AI agent. So within the voice AI agent, you have a bunch of different options. Um, let's look at my AI that I have already created, and then we can always walk through creating one. But I created one for Santa. So in Santa's hotline and Santa's AI, we have the first thing you need to do when you configure the AI is give it a name and then type in your business name. Oftentimes, the business name is not necessarily the same as what the sub account is called. So for example, this could be Chris Kringle's personal cell phone. This could be Santa's cell phone. There's a number of different ways that I can name this. And the business name is going to be used later on in the prompting. So we want to make sure that this is exactly how we want to refer to the business in the context of the AI. So within here, we also have the voices. Now there are over 60 voices. There is everything you can think of, from American to British to Australian, all kinds of different dialects in here that are really good opportunity to pick what makes the most sense for the business. So one of the things that I usually tell people, because they'll ask me like, oh my gosh, there's 60 voices. However, is it possible for me to demo 60 voices in one go with my customer, right? I don't want my customer to know or have to deal with the voice AI at all. I'm setting it up for them. They've paid me money. So how do I demo it for them? And usually what I tell them is pick 4 voices that make the most sense for their business. So for example, mine is an elf named Cookie. So I want someone young, energetic. I want someone expressive and cheerful. I want someone royal, smooth, precise. These different voices are great opportunities for you to showcase the flexibility of the voice AI, but you don't want to overwhelm people in the voice AI. You want to make sure that the voice AI especially is done very carefully. So what I usually do is I pick all 4 voices and I write them down. And then I tell the customer, okay, call the number that I've assigned to the voice AI and let me know what you think about the voice, then hang up. And then I change the voice and I do the same thing 4 times. And I tell me 1 through 4, which option makes the most sense to you. So then they tell me, oh, well, I really love Joey. Joey was youthful and energetic. I liked that voice, and that's what we use. Now, one of the most important things on this screen is the agent's initial message. This is always played, even if you're using the advanced settings and the advanced goals. This agent's initial message is always played on the voice AI upon initiation. So you want to make sure that this message is representative of the business. You want to make sure that this message is asking a question, because you have to prompt the person to engage with the voice AI. The voice AI is going to die immediately after, or pause immediately after, the agent's initial message. And it creates an awkward silence if you don't ask the person for a response. So in this case, I've said, hey, you have reached Santa's hotline, and I am the elf Cookie, here to assist you. Are you excited for Santa to visit? And the person says, oh, yes, or the kid in this case says, oh, yes, I'm so excited for Santa to visit. I love Santa Claus. And the AI will actually interpret what I call this as a micro prompt. The AI will actually interpret this and respond appropriately. So when you call this 866 number and it asks you, are you excited for Santa to visit? The AI will actually respond saying, Santa's reindeer are so excited to see you. Thank you so much for the milk and cookies. We're looking forward to bringing you Christmas cheer, right? It will respond with whatever the AI feels is appropriate for the question being asked. So the next thing we're going to do is go into agent goals. Now, this is where, to Jamie's point, it gets a little bit overwhelming, right? And the reason it gets overwhelming is because there's a lot of stuff in this prompt. So right now it's about 400-ish words, 360 words. You have up to 2,000 words that you can put in this prompt to dictate what the AI is going to do. One of the things that I coach people on, and I talk a lot about in the AI community, is the fact that the AI is only as smart as the information we provide it. It's only as smart as the directions we provide it. You have to be very explicit when you are prompting the AI. So for example, if you look at my prompt, one of the things that I do in general rules is I say, do not ask for extra details or repeat responses verbatim. Only use provided information in the prompt or tool instructions. If unavailable, inform the caller or a team member will follow up. Avoid assumptions, generalizations, or adding unprompted details. Maintain adherence to these rules throughout the conversation. So you'll notice I provided it with 3 distinct rules. And then I said, hey, listen, I gave you the rules. Now you have to go follow them. That's the level of detail that you need in your AI prompt. So when looking at this, I have some background information. I have you are a cookie, an elf agent at Santa's hotline, specializing in helping children fulfill their Christmas wishes. Your goal is to collect the following information from callers. Then I gave it goals, okay? And within these goals, I've also done things like select update contact field, which we'll get to in a minute, but I want to go back to talking about the prompt. So I said you should be joyful and make Christmas or Santa jokes where possible. Remember, your audience is young and your children are looking for a Christmas miracle from Santa Claus. If a caller's query matches the tool's trigger, use the tool immediately. Otherwise, redirect them to gather contact information and assure them of a follow-up. So you'll notice in my prompt, which I'll actually copy this prompt and I'll put this in a Google document for you guys and share it inside of the Zoom chat. Let me grab a Google Doc for you guys really quick and drop this in the Google Doc. And I will call this Santa's Hotline AI prompt. And I will share this with you in the Zoom chat. So let me make this available to anyone who wants the link. And put comment capabilities on it, copy the link, and I'll drop this in the Zoom chat really quick. Which I gotta find the Zoom chat. There we go. All right, so this is now in the Zoom chat. So you have access to that prompt. And within the prompt, you'll notice some very specific instructions after the rules. And this is something I really like including. This is actually an idea from Karan Rapardi and Varun Vivarian, who are 2 of the top people at high level. And that is repeating the name back to the people. So when you call in and I say, my name is Mario Aldayuse, the AI is actually going to spell it Aldayuse. My name is Aldayuz. So the AI doesn't have the ability to understand some of the pronunciation because my name is foreign. So what I do instead is I tell the AI to read it back to the caller and make sure that to spell it out and then give the caller an opportunity to confirm or to adjust the way the spelling is configured. I do the same thing for the email address. And then I also assure the caller that someone from Santa's workshop will contact them promptly. So I've got some different dynamics going in this prompt. I'm just going to quickly check the chat really quick. I know that, Jamie, you had some questions about prompting. So does this make sense so far? And welcome, Cecilia. Good to see you. How are you today?
I'm well, thank you. I do have a
Excellent.
question when Jamie finishes. Hey, Jamie, it's good to see you.
Good to see you too. It does make sense, I guess. You know, I've listened to demos, a handful of demos. Is there a good rule of thumb of how deep or how long the AI prompt script should be? Like, I obviously cater to your industry or to the industry that you're selling the AI to. But have you seen a good rule of thumb or yeah, I think I'm overcomplicating it, to be honest.
Yeah, so you want to be as concise as possible. But in being concise, you also need to be detailed about the guidelines and the information you provide the AI. So for example, you don't want to include a bunch of superfluous information that's irrelevant or like redundant instructions. You want to include only what you need and structure it like let's say that you're talking to a child, right? And you're explaining to the child how to build a Lego set. and you tell them the first thing we're going to do is you tell them go build a Lego set. Well, what's that child going to do? It's going to go, you know, stab the box with a knife. It's going to try and cut through the cellophane. The child's going to just rip the packages open and the Legos are going to fly everywhere. They're going to tear up the instructions. What you need to do is say, hey, go open the box to the Legos and neatly set all of the packages out on the table in order. Take the directions and set them separately from the packages so you can read them later. Then the first thing you're going to do is open the instruction booklet. So what you're doing is when you're teaching an AI or you're training an AI, it's very akin to talking to a child. So you have to use that same kind of kid gloves mentality of breaking it down Barney style for them. And there is no guarantee of let's say or not guarantee, but like minimum size of prompt or maximum size of prompt. What you want to do is just be as succinct as possible and as concise as possible, but also provide Barney style information to the AI to be able to effectively communicate. Does that make sense?
It does.
Yep.
Does,
And
do we use the prompt for ending the call too? Like,
you cannot.
Okay.
So when the AI finishes and you say, thanks the caller, confirm their Christmas wishes are being addressed, and wish them a pleasant holiday season, the AI is going to do exactly that, and then it's going to wait. And what the AI is waiting for is someone to say, and then I also want a wagon for Christmas. Okay, so you can't actually get the AI to hang up yet. It's not capable of doing that, but it will be able to soon.
got it. And it can't it can't go onto a calendar and book an appointment yet, but it can send a calendar link out
It
through like
absolutely can. Yep, through a workflow.
through a workflow. Okay.
Yep, and you can also send out, you can also send people through workflows as part of like a qualification step. So for example, if I said, let me add a bullet point here and we'll do this 3, qualify the caller's status. And I'll put in go space here. Ask the caller if they've been a good boy or girl this year. If they respond that they've been a good boy or girl, please send them a through the workflow using the trigger a workflow action, which and inform them they will receive a link to book special time with Santa. And then I would go into the trigger a workflow and say book with Santa. I'd select the workflow, trigger this workflow if the boy or girl or the caller in this case indicates they have been a good boy or girl. Since you've been a good boy or girl, I'm going to send you a link to book special call with Santa. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So this is how you would trigger the workflow. These are what's called micro prompts. So this is how you would trigger the workflow. And then, and I'm not going to save this is actually live. Santa is actively responding to people. So one of the things that I have, for example, is update the contact field. So I've put in, I want you to extract the name. I want you to get their Christmas requests. Have they been a good kid? And what is the address of their nearest chimney? And then you provide examples to the AI of what makes the most sense. In this case, Jane Doe, or John Doe, Jane Smith. I want my parents to get back together. I want to ride her bicycle and a puppy. Have you been a good kid? I was a good kid and I'm thankful for my parents. What's the address of the nearest chimney? What this does is it provides contextual information to the AI to understand how to format the information. And this is how you actually trigger, and you can trigger workflows off of this as well. So one of the things that I really like doing is qualifying calls and transferring them from the AI to the business owner. And the way that I do that is I would say, instead of trigger a workflow action, I would say transfer the call and inform them they will receive a special time and then I hit the call transfer button and I do the same thing that I do for the workflow action or the contact fields action. But this is the example that I would use in here is, let's say that you're a real estate agent and you're looking to find buyers who want to buy a house within 2 months, right? So you tell the buyer, when are you looking to buy? Within 2 months, 3 to 6 months, and you're putting all this in your prompt. You can then say in the call transfer action, if the buyer indicates they're looking to purchase within 2 months, please transfer their call to me. Okay. And then that call, if the buyer says, I'm looking to buy within 2 months, gets transferred to the business owner. If the buyer says, I'm looking to buy within 6 months, it says, okay, please submit your contact information and I'm happy to help you. So there's a lot of option you can do. One of the things that you can do is you can take, for like a restaurant, for example, and you can actually plug in the entire restaurant's menu into the voice AI prompt, and you can give people the opportunity to ask questions about prices, about ingredients, about a variety of things. And you have 2,000 words, not characters, 2,000 words to be able to do that. So you got a lot of space inside of the voice AI to be able to give people the information they need. There's something called retrieval augmented generation, or RAG, which means that the AI is able to look at external sources and be able to do different things with those external sources. Unfortunately, the voice AI is not capable of doing that yet, just like it's not capable of booking appointments, but it will be capable of doing that sometime in the first quarter of next year. So, all right, so I've given quite a bit of information on voice AI so far. That's the nuts and bolts. It really takes about 5 to 10 minutes to set up a voice AI effectively. One of the biggest pieces of advice that I give is never make drastic changes to your prompt. Always make prompt changes that are small and then test it every single time to understand best how the changes you're making impact the AI's responses.
May I ask a question?
Yes, absolutely, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you for doing this, first of all. Okay.
Of course.
So I knew that I was looking for the page that had all of the AI employee, and I finally found it. So I'm looking at it over here. So I'm seeing the voice, conversation, reviews, content, workflow, and phone.
Yep,
Now,
that's correct.
right. So I knew that with the reviews, that if someone goes onto my Google business profile or Facebook and they leave a review, I could turn on AI reviews where AI would respond to a review. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay,
That
so
is
that has
absolutely
not
correct.
changed.
That has not changed. So let me go into reviews AI really quick, which I believe was under reputation management. If my cursor was written properly. Okay, here's reviews AI. So it's under reputation
Right.
on the main screen, and you can do automatic responses, suggestive responses, or turn it off. personally, I prefer to do automatic responses.
Okay, so I understood that that was there and how that worked. Um, the workflow assistant, I remember hearing Sean on the video from the summit that the workflow assistant is there to help you figure out what's not working correctly in your workflow. Is that correct? Is that
That
accurate?
is absolutely correct. So let's go into the workflows and let's go into parent notification of level up. And let's ask the workflow AI. So you have the workflow AI right here,
Okay.
and it's in the bottom left corner.
Mhm.
And what it's doing is it's currently analyzing my workflow. So it's saying, this is what your workflow does. Here are some suggestions to add to your workflow. So the workflow AI is designed to give you the best advice possible in building your workflow.
And yeah, okay. So that's good for troubleshooting. So I'm like, okay, that's pretty good. Now, the funnel, content, conversation, and you just went over the voice AI. So am I to, if I start with the funnel, does that mean that when I go in to create a new funnel, that I don't have to worry about, oh, okay, so it's going to make a funnel, right? Okay, it makes a funnel for you.
Correct. So I'd say Santa's hotline, and I say next, and it says, what do I want to do? Generate more leads, showcase your services. I want it to be friendly or humorous. Let's do humorous. Now, funnel AI is not that intelligent yet. It will be soon. I would call this the skateboard model
Okay.
of not being very intelligent. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of funnel AI, but I know that it is getting better and they're really working on this. What it's lacking is the ability to put in a prompt. So a lot of the stuff that funnel AI generates looks very similar. It's kind of more akin to using a template, but
Okay.
it's still a great novelty, and it's a good tool for someone who maybe is not a funnel designer and is looking for just a really simple way to get a funnel designed. So
Okay.
you'll see I said Santa's hotline. And I'm a Christmas tree farm. What does it do? It grabs images and
Oh,
colors that are Christmas associated.
okay. And so does it, so that's all it does. So then you have to go in and do everything else in terms of creating a brand board so that you can adjust your colors and all of that. It just gives you, like you said, pretty much a template of a funnel to start with.
That's correct.
Okay. All right. Okay. So then, so that handles funnel. Okay. Content AI.
So content AI is used for a variety of different things. I don't have any social media accounts connected, but under campaigns and templates within the email builder, you have the ability to leverage the AI as well. So let's do a blank email, and I want to do the design editor. And then let's say I want to leverage AI for this, right?
Okay.
Do you
Okay.
see how I have the AI button right here in the top right corner?
Okay.
I click that AI button and I say generate with AI. And what that's going to do is that's going to start generating content for me that goes inside my funnel or inside my email template. So you can also improve writing. So I can highlight all of this. I can say improve writing. There's a variety of different, now this is just a blank template. I'd have to have an actual email template in here for it to work. But this, I can say make longer. I can do a variety of different things to this template that are using the AI functions. And that's like fixed spelling and grammar. So let's go and let's just copy some large thing. Okay, so we're just going to copy a large body of text.
Okay.
And I want to, of course, my Zoom windows in the way of everything. So hold on a second, I'm just moving that around. I can do things like go in here, simplify writing. And what it's doing right now is it's thinking, and then ultimately it will change the information on the page and help me to design my email template more effectively.
So, okay, so it's not so much well, it does. It helps you with your writing. So Maria, I have in chat created like my own brand voice. I dumped a bunch of my previous writings in so it could analyze for my tone and style and all of that. So when I get ready to write something, I use that as the reference so that it actually sounds like me. So in conversation, is that what we're doing there? Funnel AI? Yeah.
No,
Conversation,
this is content.
So in content AI, how does it write without knowing how I sound? I mean, what tone is it using?
It doesn't, and that's why using a GPT is better.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. So this is kind of still skateboard-ish. It's not ready to be able to
That's
talk like
correct.
a person. Okay. So then in conversation AI, what is that and how is it different from content?
So conversation AI is designed to be conversational. So if we go into conversation AI V2 and we click Santa's hotline, what this is designed to do is respond to messages in a variety of channels. So Instagram, Facebook, SMS, chat widget, live chat. It's able to respond to messages much like Zappy Chat or CloseBot. And so to really quickly answer Tony's question, to use a chat GPT in the content area, what you would do is just copy and paste out of the GPT. There's no way to use it natively. But so back to conversation AI, what you're doing is you're enabling the conversational component of the different channel and empowering it with AI. So like, for example, I could add custom responses, I could add websites, I could add goals. And within goals, this is where I have my prompt. So let's send a message to Santa's hotline and see what it says. Hey there, have you always been good this year? Santa always tries to make wishes come true for those who have been good. I've been good this year. That's great to hear. What can I help you with today? Planning on sending a wish list or checklist. We're checking on something for the holidays. And so it's responding, and then it can also collect information based on the prompts and the goals. So you can book appointments, you can collect their contact data. There's a variety of things you can do using the conversation AI. And this is like the voice AI, but it's not able to do anything from a voice standpoint. It's purely text-based responses.
So for people who might be inside of my Facebook Messenger, this will work there. Or if people are communicating with me and sending me messages in Instagram or LinkedIn or so forth,
Exactly.
then conversation AI can be set up to have a conversation with them.
Exactly.
Okay. And then with voice AI, that means you have to, do you connect that to the, like I have A2P number. So do I connect it to the A2P number or do I have to get a separate phone number? And how long does it take to really train voice AI?
So voice AI takes like 5 minutes
Oh,
from
okay.
start to finish. It's very, very easy to use. You would connect your existing phone number, and instead of having voicemail, the voice AI would pick up. So there's one very, very key delineation in voice or a very key thing in voice AI. When we go into the phone and availability, they have this note right here that says the agent answers the call if the assigned user or forwarding number does not pick up. So that means that the call is going to ring you first. If you don't pick up, the voice AI takes over, much like voicemail, so that you don't have to worry about answering that call.
So right now, the way I have it set up is because I went through the missed call text back. So if somebody calls the number and I don't pick up, they get the text so that they can schedule an appointment with me.
So you would turn off missed call text back and turn on voice AI.
So that
Or
the
you could
AI
have both.
So the
Or
AI
you-
would. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, or you could have both. Where it texts saying, in case you didn't get a hold of anybody, here's the link to book. But the voice AI is capable of sending out that message if they want to book.
So if let's pretend I'm calling you.
Yep.
And you don't answer, voice AI answers. And
That's
voice
correct.
AI can have a conversation, and how does it navigate, the conversation in terms of, I want to talk to Dr. Greenbar about this. Does it come back and say, she's not available now? Would you like to book an appointment? And then does it send a link, or does it, scratch through, go through my calendar and go back and forth to like, what day times work for you? I mean, how does that work?
So it's not able to go through the calendar yet. That's coming Q1 of this year. But
Okay.
it is able to it is able to send a workflow action or a text message to book an appointment.
Oh, okay. Okay. So instead of just getting a text, it can have a conversation and say, would you like for me to send you the appointment link so that you can book an appointment?
Exactly.
So, okay. So then I guess my question becomes, and then I'll stop because I see there are other people who probably have questions. So right now, I understand it's free. AI Employee, which is this whole suite of AI activity, is free until the end of the year. After that, do we a la carte it, or do we have to all or nothing it?
You have the option for either. So I personally recommend going the big boy route and charging people like $297 a month for access to the voice AI. That's my recommendation because it's a great moneymaker and it gives you unlimited. But you can also do the a la carte fashion. That's entirely up to you. But the a la carte fashion adds up very quickly, whereas the $97 is just one flat price, and it's really cheap for you. And then you mark it up by $200 and you charge your customer $297. I have at least 10 customers paying $297 a month for just the voice AI.
Oh,
It's very easy to sell. You have to think the value you're providing with voice AI, conversation AI, workflow AI, funnel AI, all the different AIs, the value you're providing is huge.
so with all of the customers that you have, are you're selling the voice for $297? Are you selling the whole employee at a set price? And if so, would you mind sharing what that you perceive that value to be?
So I sell the whole employee at $297, but I focus on the voice AI because that's the
I got you.
that's the hot topic right now. And
And
then
then
I also sell the SaaS for $297 on top of that. So their total bill is like 594 or whatever it is.
okay. Okay. I see. Okay,
Uh,
well, I'm gonna stop because other people have questions.
Sure. So Brandon said, what is the best approach to implement voice AI with a business that has a number outside of GHL? So typically I recommend to forward that number into high level, or you can port that number into high level. When you port that number into high level, what you do is you develop sticky factor, because it makes it more difficult for the business to leave. It's a really great opportunity for you to leverage your sticky factor to stop that customer from churning. So I personally recommend to port those numbers into high level, but you always have the opportunity to do something like either forward the number into high level, replace their number with the voice AI number. Like there's an enumerative number of different ways you can, slice that turkey. But what I usually recommend is to actually port that number into high level. It takes about 7 days to do that, but it's definitely worth it. Jamie, I'll publish the recording so you don't have to worry if you missed anything. There's definitely a lot of stuff that you missed, but you're totally able to watch the recording. Tony said, I have some questions about the conversation AI, which is where I've been struggling. So Tony, if you want to feel free to unmute yourself, I'm happy to help you.
Yeah, hi. Thanks so much. Hey. So the conversation AI, basically, how long does it take for the training that you upload to kick in, basically, I guess is the question, because so like I uploaded a whole bunch of documents. I wanted it to send a hyperlink to my customer. And so I created a tag for each one of our 70 products and then instructed it to use the custom value rather in its response. And then I also told it to use hyperlinks from our store for a response. I tried a whole bunch of different ways and it didn't work. And then like 3 days later, it kicked in. And I didn't do anything different, but now that is working. And so I was wondering, like, is there a period of time that it takes for this machine to really understand what you put in? Because the other struggle that I had was I told it to only recommend products from our store. And I also, gave it a list of even all the custom values, and like I was a crazy person with it. And it was recommending products that are not in our store. Like it was completely making up products and also making up URLs completely, which I thought was very interesting.
That's called hallucination. And hallucination is a natural part of AI. And it's something that we're working on tuning out within the conversation AI. I would tell you that your request is a little bit more complex than most people's general needs for conversation AI, especially if you're talking about like products for your store and things like that. I would recommend a solution like Zappy Chat or CloseBot for what you're doing. That would be more effective and the training will be a lot faster. There's no technically flash to bang time on the conversation AI from a training standpoint. I do know that over the last 2 weeks, there have been several outages at OpenAI specifically, which have created some challenges with the training. That's likely what you were subject to. It was probably not like the training is almost instantaneous. So it's likely that you were just using it during a time when there was an outage and that's what was causing the issues.
Okay.
But I would recommend looking into like Zappy Chat or CloseBot. And for your specific use case, that's going to be a much more effective solution.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna do that. Because it's like I said, it's hyperlinking now, but I just I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, it's sometimes, and this is the thing, is that AI, you have to understand, is still new in the grand scheme of things. This technology has really only been around for a couple of years, and it's advancing at a logarithmically amazing exponential rate, but it's also at the same time not perfect. And so that's where some third-party services are maybe a little bit more effective, like Zapping Chat or Closerbot, where they've tailored the prompts to be more designed for what you need. But conversation AI is also an incredibly capable platform. I just think that really with what you're working with, when you're talking about having, you know, more advanced prompts and 70 different products and all these things, that you need something a little bit more intentionally designed to work with what you're doing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Excellent. And does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. And Sweezy's up next. Sweezy, feel free to unmute yourself. All right, while we're waiting for Sweezy, Cody Landry has a question. Go ahead, Sweezy.
Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so thanks for the help. So my question is, so for a use case example, local business. I know you were on a call with Andy yesterday, and they were, his primary thing is pushing, selling the SaaS. So I'm curious on when we are basically selling SaaS and adding this as another feature, or basically like assistant. Um, the voice the when people are putting out their phone number to get called, so for example, I have a hairstylist client, right? So if we were to model a use case for her, and you're calling and you want to know about getting a haircut or your beard shave, like how much would it be able to handle before it, suggests booking an appointment? Like basically, we want to just do some filtering. If the client, if my client says, "Hey, I want them to
Yeah,
know
absolutely.
these questions," but men's hair is different from women's hair, so if it's some of those things are particular, but are also frequently asked questions. So how could you put her like domain knowledge, um, but not kind of like you mentioned, overwhelm the voice AI so it starts hallucinating, like what would be like the most reasonable step so that it's something that doesn't overwhelm her? Because if I'm selling SaaS, then I'm doing maybe a setup, but not, you know, much after that.
So what I would do is I would recommend in the AI you have two sections. Information about men's haircuts, information about women's haircuts. And then in the information about men's haircuts, you very succinctly and concisely detail the information about a male haircut, the prices, the different options, beard edging, fading, things like that. In the women's, you do the same. You detail about coloring, styling, blowouts, things like that. But what you want to do is just be as short and concise as possible. And that's going to help to reduce your hallucinations.
Okay, makes
But
sense. And
it's
yeah.
not bad to give it a lot of information.
Mhm.
Like there's nothing wrong. That's why they have 2,000 words available to give it information. There's nothing bad about doing that. It's just what you want to do is just not be overly wordy and include a bunch of stuff that is superfluous information.
Okay, understood. Okay,
Cool.
okay, thanks.
I know there's a Cowboys fan next to me. I'm not sure. I'm a Packers fan, so I don't know about this dude, but um, but yeah, so it's something that again, it's not bad to have a lot of information in your prompt. You just need to be judicious about the information you put in there. So I have another question. When you say you sell the whole AI employee, you mean voice, workflow, funnel, et cetera, and you sell that at $297, that's correct. I am setting up the features for them because for me personally, it only takes me about 5 minutes per feature to set it up for the client. Once you get familiar and you get over your hump of kind of fear and the stigma associated with setting this up, it's really not hard. It only takes about 5 minutes per product. So I set it up for them and then I charge them $297 a month for the rest of their life. And I make $600 off of their account entirely. I'm spending $97 on their account. So I'm making $500 on their account. It's a really great revenue generating opportunity. All right, we have about 5 minutes left. So I'm gonna open up the floor to any questions. Feel free to raise your hand or unmute yourself. And if not, I will go ahead and give everyone 5 minutes back on their day. I hope that this was valuable. I hope that everyone found information they need. I know, Cecilia, this was something that you've been interested in and weren't really familiar with. So if you at any point need additional help, you're more than welcome to direct message me.
Okay.
Everybody on here, you're more than welcome to direct message me or book an appointment with me. I'm going to go ahead and drop my link in the Zoom chat right here. And if you want to book a meeting with me or you have any questions, reach out to me on Facebook. That's the easiest way to get a hold of me, or feel free to book time on my calendar. Either one is totally fine.
I just want to say thanks again for hopping into my question on inside of the group, because I really just had not had the time in this holiday season to investigate, although I was getting the information. But I'm grateful the way that you broke it down. And it appears to me only about 2 or 3 of the elements do I think I could, for me, I could actually deploy right now. I think my favorite would be the workflow AI. But thank you for coming
I was like,
on.
who's touching my butt? Oh, you're totally fine. Sorry,
Yeah.
someone's bag was rubbed, and I was like, who's grabbing my butt? Like, this is awkward. Anyways,
So
totally
I'm
happy.
gonna try it. I'm not gonna try the voice part yet, because like I said, I have some other focus right now, but I'm going to try it for the next couple of weeks. And because a couple of them I understood the reviews, but I'm going to try it. And I just tried to do the funnel. I see it doesn't do a website, but it does do a funnel. It doesn't look too bad. It doesn't look too bad for what I just put in. So thank you for your time on this Saturday.
Absolutely happy to help. And to answer Cody's question, yes, as an HLPT subscriber, you do have support for this already, 100%. So, and Jamie, did you have a question?
I do. Sorry, it's again, the weather's really crazy. Our power went out. The Powerball kicked in, which is good. So I'm back. But what happens to all the information in the voice AI, in the things that, like, for instance, my stepdad has a dental office, and I've talked to him about this. He's very curious, and he wants me to set it up. But like, if I set up the voice AI and it takes in the information, and I have it transfer the call to the front desk, because that's where he's actually having issues with. They're not really encouraged. They're not really motivated to sell further off, like, things that he does. But if I set up the voice AI to be like, are you interested in a teeth whitening? Are you interested in a cleaning, or whatever it might be? How does that information get disseminated to the business owner?
So it stores that conversation record in the notes of that content.
Okay.
And that's automatic.
Okay. In the notes section of the contact card.
That's correct.
Like a transcript?
That is the transcript. Yeah, it stores it in the transcript and the notes.
Okay. That's really, yeah. I think I wanted to know what happens on the back end.
Yeah, so what it does is it transcribes that entire conversation and posts it to the notes file. And then you also have the option to store them as custom fields as well.
And it sends an email. Does it send an email as well?
It sure does.
I think I saw that. Okay. I'm going to give it a try on him. He's willing to let me try it with him as a, just setting it. I want to migrate him over. He's using a different service, and he doesn't understand it all. So this is very helpful.
Cool. All right,
Thank
guys. Well,
you.
we are just up on time. I appreciate everyone who hopped on today. If you have any questions, again, my name is Mario. I'm with HL Pro Tools. I appreciate everyone who hopped on. And if you have any questions, just shoot me a message on Facebook. So I'll talk to you guys later. I'm about to hop on a plane, but I'll see you guys at some point soon.